Hi, everybody. My name is Rita Crompton. I am President and CEO of Archimedes Offspring, and our line tonight is, do you hear what I hear? And yeah, I know everybody tells me I can't sing. But anyway, you get the point. Do you hear what I hear? Do you know what I know? How do you find funding for your idea? And I think a lot of the videos I do, people really like it when I talk about lessons learned from other inventors, because I think you learn a lot from other inventors when we share those stories. And you know, the one inventor I had a few months ago who said, "I'm the smartest guy I know," and I said back to him, I said, "That might be your first problem." Um, Assuming that you know everything is really tough to get around, and it can really come back and bite you in the tuchus. All right. Just that's life. So when we look at, all right, managing this process, and the gentleman I was talking to earlier is like, well, I'm already talking to big players. It's like, well, you called me, all right, and this is what I know. I represent the inventor, all right, and those other people you're talking to represent the company. Who do you think is going to eat you alive? All right. There's a lot of really good companies out there, but their representatives represent the company, not you, the inventor. And we did a licensing deal where the inventor just wanted me to help negotiate the contract. I wasn't the licensing agent. And Lordy, he calls me all the time. Can you contact them? I am not your licensing agent on the record. I can't. Okay? I can't. They won't return my call. And again, I don't know what to tell you. When I'm representing the inventor, yes, I make those calls. Yes, I help you negotiate the contract. Yes, I tell you in the agreement when it's a bad part of the agreement. And then we look at advantages and disadvantages. I represent the inventor. All right, so now how does it work with Archimedes Offspring? It's really cool, okay, because again, now we mentor you through that process. All right, I can still talk to you about a licensing agreement. We still look at what is in your best interest. There can be nuances in a contract that you get from a company that you just don't even realize, and say, all right, well, this person you're dealing with, what happens if they get hit by a beer truck and somebody new comes in? And the new person reads it differently. If it is not spelled out in the agreement exactly the way it's supposed to be read, all right, now you can end up getting gypped on certain things because of nuances that were there. I know these things. I have been doing this for a long time. It is my job to let you know these things. So when you're working with AOS, all right, for that funding mechanism, we guide you through these steps. All right, we are going to be guiding you and helping you make the right decisions because we're protecting the investors at the same time. It's magic. It really is. When we look at how well these two sides fit together, all right, we can fund you up to $75,000. For most inventors, that gets you teed up through, the patent. We pay for the patent. We pay for the design work. We will pay for the first run and getting you to a trade show. Well, when you look at the amount of money that you would put in, all right, and we've talked about this before on my videos, leveraging, all right, you put in the amount that we need for the vetting process, and I can see my hands dancing around, sorry, to get through the process and get teed up, and then we help fund the rest of the job to get it up there, to get it teed up, to get the industry experts to take a look at it, to know who's going to license it. We want to know. All right. So we're paying then that up front. So you're leveraging your $1,500, $2,500 or what you've put into it. A lot of people have already filed their patents and now they're looking for that short run and they don't have the money to do it. Or a spouse has said, there is no way you're taking out a second mortgage on the house to do this. Can't really say as I blame them. Who wants to be homeless when we do this? I had a gentleman down in New Mexico. He said, I honestly considered selling my house and living out of my car to do this. And at that point, my wife reminded me of how ridiculous it sounded. Well, yes, absolutely. So at AOS, all right, we look at being smart with your idea, walking through the process, being smart with the investors, right? So that's why the first family is going to have, 15 to 20 inventions in it. We know that there's risk in this. We know that. It's funny, we go to the National Hardware Show and somebody says, oh, do you go to the casinos? I say, no, our gamble, our risk is all in the convention center. So we look at, what is that risk and try to minimize that for everyone. And for you, the inventor, and for the investor. So when we talk about, do you hear what I hear? Do you know what I know? All right. Where is the money to help you invest? It's with Archimedes Offspring, because it's not a matter of just saying, oh yeah, let's look at this guy. Does he have a history of, paying back his loans? Does he have a record of paying his bills? Does he have any assets? We don't care. We don't care. We look at the merits of the invention. We're going to help manage the service providers. You're not going to get to use an attorney who charges $600 an hour. That's just the nature of the game. We're going to help manage that. So we're going to want somebody that's in the middle of the road ballpark. You can pick anybody you want, but we're going to be able to have some guidance and some say in that, because the fund is paying for it. So when you're looking, it's like, average we know is about $350. We know there's some on the lower end. We'll help guide you. We'll give you some suggestions. And if you say, I've had several inventors, they've had the Search Quest do the search, but now they've gone to their own attorneys in the East Coast. That's fine. That's fine. You want to deal with somebody that you know and you can go sit in their office? That's fine. But now they come back to me and say, but now I'm ready for someone to help me do some design work. AOS is going to pay for that. And I can say, here's a couple of suggestions. One of the gentlemen today I spoke with this morning, right away wanted to know, who can we use for manufacturing that's going to hit the right price points? Who understands that, just because I'm looking at it being this price point and now I've got somebody ready to go and place an order and they say, not at that price point. We say, all right, we know someone who can say, all right, this is the price point we have to hit. And maybe, and he agreed with me, maybe we have to do a version for this company that is more of the Macy's version. And we save the Nordstrom's version for later. No offense, Macy's and Nordstrom's, but that's kind of our, reality check. What we're looking at is being able to protect you, the inventor, get you down the road. So get your searches done. All right, we've got searches that are coming in every day. Get your search done. Know what you've got to work with. For some inventors, the best thing that we do is say, you shouldn't be doing this. Move on to your next idea. I love it when an inventor calls and says, oh, I've got a whole bunch of ideas. I want to meet with you. I want to chat with you and see which one makes sense to go with first. Maybe that's when we talk about, the first of the year. How do you differentiate between different ideas? We've kind of got a system on that. So I'll put that on the calendar to do right after the first of the year. We've actually got topics now lined up until the end of December. So a lot to say. There is a lot going on. There's a lot of ways to tie in the holiday season to this exciting inventing process. Inventing is exciting. It gets everybody's blood going. Everybody has, we always say that the fantasy is inventors' fantasy business plan is have idea, get patent, make money, buy island. Well, it doesn't really work that way, but we want you to see a good end. And the only way to see a good end and a good outcome is to make sure that we're making good decisions along the road. It's just like, buying a house. You don't throw a bunch of money out there and say, Mr. Realtor, go buy me a house. And then you go, well, I don't like this neighborhood. I don't really like the basement. I really don't like the backyard. You go, you take a look at it. You have a plan. You know what you're doing. You get my idea. All right. So what we do at AOS is we have a plan. All right. We walk you through the plan. We walk you through the steps. We want to make sure that the decisions that get made with you and for you have your best interest at heart. So I've got somebody calling in. I'm going to run. I will talk to you tomorrow. Have a great evening.